GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Our City Council just approved a bold new transit plan that could cut commute times in half, and the details could reshape daily life for millions.
Police are investigating a theft at the Sacré-Cœur Hospital in Montreal. Early in May, the Montreal Police Service confirmed that equipment worth approximately $40,000 was taken from the facility's medical supply area. Hospital officials discovered the loss during a routine inventory check and have reported the incident to authorities. Detectives from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal are reviewing surveillance footage and interviewing staff as part of the inquiry. The stolen items include a range of diagnostic and treatment devices, though the exact list has not been released. The Sacré-Cœur Hospital is one of the largest health centers in the province, serving a broad patient population. Hospital administrators said the incident does not affect patient care at this time. The investigation is being coordinated with hospital security personnel. Authorities have not released a suspect description. The investigation remains ongoing.
The province's domestic security minister, Ian Lafreniere, announced today an independent observer will be installed to monitor the inquiry into alleged racist conduct by Montreal Police Service officers. The probe began earlier this year after several community groups filed formal complaints, prompting a formal investigation. The appointment follows a wave of complaints that officers engaged in discriminatory behavior, raising concerns among advocacy groups. The observer, whose identity remains undisclosed, will report directly to the ministry and work alongside the police service's internal affairs unit, while retaining full independence. The observer will be empowered to interview witnesses, request additional evidence, and issue interim findings as the investigation proceeds. Officials said the move aims to provide external oversight and restore public confidence in law enforcement practices. The observer will have unrestricted access to investigation files and must present a final report to the minister within 6 months.
Intense rainstorms and severe thunderstorms swept across southern Quebec this morning, leaving West Montreal and a string of South Shore municipalities underwater. Meteorologists recorded torrential rain that quickly pooled on streets and in low-lying neighborhoods, prompting widespread flooding across several sectors of the greater Montreal area. Residents reported ankle-deep water blocking driveways, while municipal crews in towns such as Longueuil, Brossard, and St. Laurent scrambled to clear main thoroughfares. Emergency services were dispatched to assist those trapped in vehicles and to assess damage to infrastructure. Officials warned that additional rain later in the day could exacerbate conditions, urging caution for commuters and anyone moving through affected zones. Water accumulation on streets and in low-lying areas overwhelmed drainage, causing rapid rises. The province's climate office will release a detailed impact report after the storm subsides.
The Marché Public de Pointe aux Trembles marked its 15th anniversary today, a milestone that reflects its evolution from a citizen-driven petition into a bustling Saturday hub for regional growers. Over the past 15 years, the market has drawn thousands of visitors who wander past stalls of fresh produce, artisanal cheeses, baked goods, and handcrafted jams. Organizers said the community's push to brighten the East End neighborhood paid off, turning a modest seasonal space into a year-round showcase for local talent. Vendors now use the Saturday crowd to test new recipes and gauge demand, while families enjoy live music and kid-friendly activities. City officials praised the market's role in fostering economic vitality and social connection, noting that the spirit of collaboration that sparked the original petition still drives the event each weekend throughout the season.
Firefighters responded to a large blaze in the Montreal Nord neighborhood late yesterday, where a residential unit was engulfed in flames. The fire caused second-degree burns to 2 children, ages 5 and 8, who were rescued by crews and taken to a local hospital for treatment. Officials said the fire likely started in a kitchen area, but the exact cause remains under investigation. In response, the Service de Sécurité Incendie de Montréal launched a community safety outreach program today, focusing on fire prevention education for families in the area. Firefighters will hold free workshops at the local community center, demonstrate proper use of smoke alarms, and distribute safety pamphlets in both French and English. The department emphasized that early detection and clear evacuation plans can dramatically reduce injuries in residential fires. Parents are encouraged to review fire escape routes with their children as a precaution.
Later, we'll break down the surprise withdrawal of Liberal candidate Renee Verrett from the Louis Hebert race. Plus more. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're with us. Now let's dive into the headlines, and Rachel will take us through today's local stories.
Renee Verrett has stepped down as the Parti Liberal du Québec's candidate for the Louis Hebert riding. The withdrawal was announced on June 20th, leaving the party without a nominee in a constituency that will be contested in the upcoming provincial election. Party officials now face a tight timetable, with roughly 1.5 months remaining to select a replacement before the campaign officially opens. The decision comes as the Liberals seek to solidify their slate across the province, and the vacancy in Louis Hebert adds pressure to a schedule already compressed by the election calendar. Voters in the district will receive a new name on the ballot, but the party has not yet indicated who will fill the spot. The deadline for submitting a new candidacy falls in early August, meaning the local riding association must convene quickly to endorse a successor.
Quebec's health authority has sparked controversy by requiring candidates for senior executive posts to complete pre-employment questionnaires that probe mental health history and eating disorder experiences. The forms, introduced on June 20th, ask applicants to disclose personal health details before any interview takes place. Critics argue the demand infringes on privacy and could deter qualified professionals from applying for leadership roles within the agency's establishments. Santé Quebec officials say the questions are intended to ensure workplace safety and to match support services with employee needs. The agency has not indicated plans to modify the forms despite mounting public pressure. As the debate unfolds, prospective executives face a choice between full disclosure and withdrawing their applications, a dilemma that may affect the pool of talent available to manage the province's health system today.
Police leaders from the Service de Police de Montreal will sit before city officials in a closed-door session on June 22nd. The meeting, convened by the municipal government, is intended to clarify how the force has dealt with complaints that several officers made racist gestures. City authorities decided to summon the police hierarchy after media reports highlighted instances of discriminatory conduct within the ranks. No public audience will be present, and the discussion will remain confidential. Officials said the session aims to assess internal procedures and determine whether further action is required. The outcome could influence how complaints are investigated and how officers are trained moving forward. Residents are watching closely given recent concerns about bias in law enforcement interactions. The council will get a written brief afterward, and the police have pledged full cooperation with any follow-up review.
Health officials in Quebec announced Tuesday that raccoon rabies cases are rising in the areas south and east of Montreal. The province's surveillance team has been tracking the outbreak, and recent testing shows an increase in infected animals across the zones. Officials say the virus spreads through bites and saliva, posing a risk to pets and people who might contact wildlife. Veterinarians are urged to watch for symptoms such as drooling, aggression, or paralysis in dogs and cats. Residents are advised to avoid handling raccoons and to report unusual wildlife behavior to authorities. The health ministry will keep expanding testing and consider additional control measures as the situation develops. The rise mirrors spikes in nearby counties that led to vaccination drives for pets. Health officials note human rabies stays rare but can be fatal without prompt care.
Police say a 28-year-old man commandeered a Montreal police cruiser early Thursday, sparking a citywide pursuit that stretched roughly 60 kilometers. Officers spotted the stolen vehicle near the downtown core and gave chase, weaving through traffic as the suspect attempted to evade capture. The pursuit lasted close to half an hour before officers forced the cruiser to stop, apprehending the driver without further incident. Investigators identified the individual as a robbery suspect already under investigation, though details of the original theft have not been released. No injuries were reported among the public or the officers involved. The chase caused temporary lane closures on several major arteries, delaying commuters during the morning rush. The incident underscores the challenges faced by law enforcement when a suspect turns a police asset into a tool for escape. prompting a rapid coordinated response across the city.
Now let's take a quick look at tonight's weather as we head into the weekend.
Tonight's weather snapshot rolls in with a gentle breeze and clouds, setting the tone for tomorrow's weekend. On this day, Montreal once sweltered to a record high of 33.4 degrees in 2020, a spike that rode a lingering heat wave across the province. By contrast, the coldest reading fell to 9.8 degrees back in 2015, when an Arctic blast pushed unusually low temperatures into the city. Those extremes sit well above the climate normals, which hover around a high of 22 degrees and a low of 15 degrees for late June, reminding us how variable our summer can be. Right now the temperature sits at 16 degrees, mostly cloudy, with humidity at 90% and a light breeze from the east at 8 kilometers per hour. Tonight's low will dip to 15 degrees before sunrise. Tomorrow will climb to a high of 22 degrees, then ease back to a low of 15 as clouds linger. A west wind will gust up to 27 kilometers per hour, feeling a bit brisk. The UV index remains modest at 5, so sunscreen isn't urgent. Keep an eye on the severe thunderstorm watch covering the island and surrounding regions, from Chateauguay to Vaudreuil, as scattered storms could develop later. With those details, let's move on to the 5-day outlook. Looking ahead, Sunday will stay overcast with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 14, offering a cool start to the weekend. Monday brings a similar overcast feel, but a slight warm-up to 24 degrees, though there's a 20% chance of rain in the afternoon. Tuesday clears up nicely, reaching 23 degrees at its peak and cooling to 16 by night, perfect for outdoor plans. Wednesday returns to cloud cover and another 20% rain window, with highs around 24 degrees and lows near 16. Thursday caps the stretch with continued overcast skies, a higher chance of precipitation at 40%, and steady temperatures of 24 degrees high and 16 low. Expect a mild, occasionally damp week ahead.
Coming up, traffic updates, a look at top stories, plus the latest on our hockey playoffs and the Chamber Spotlight. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
And now here's Jason with sports.
A quieter sports board today, with no fresh local team update from RSS. The Canadiens made NHL award history when captain Nick Suzuki claimed the Frank J. Selk Trophy and teammate Cole Caulfield was awarded the Lady Byng Trophy, both on the same day. According to CBC Sports NHL, the NHL confirmed both honors simultaneously, a rare double for any franchise. More good news out of the Canadiens organization, prospect Bryce Pickford has been named CHL Defenseman of the Year. Sportsnet reports the honor signals promising depth in Montreal's defensive pipeline, a name Habs fans will want to remember. On the women's side, the PWHL has released the selection order for its 2026 draft, set to take place in 2 days. Sportsnet reports the announcement gives teams and fans a clearer picture of how draft day will unfold.
On a rain-slicked Saturday at the historic Molson Stadium, the Edmonton Elks stepped onto the field for their first home contest of the season and found a sea of umbrellas and hopeful faces waiting for a story worth remembering. The crowd, a blend of local families and traveling supporters, watched as the Alouette quarterback Davis Alexander, who had not tasted defeat all year, faced a defense that seemed to move as one. A sudden gust sent a spray of water across the sidelines just as the Elks forced a crucial third down stop, and the stadium lights reflected off the wet turf, turning each play into a shimmering tableau. When the clock wound down and the game pushed into overtime, the Elks rallied, a single, perfectly timed pass finding the receiver in the end zone, sealing a 32-29 victory. The roar that followed was more than a win. It was a reminder that perseverance and community spirit can turn even the gloomiest weather into a celebration. Tonight, Montreal saw a new chapter begin, and the memory will linger long after the rain has cleared.
On a crisp late afternoon in the Plateau's bustling Jean Talon market, a modest wooden table bore a single microphone, a fresh bouquet of lilacs, and a stack of handwritten flyers. Rachel Reed, the Coalition Avenir Quebec's regional director, stood beside Manuela Goya, a lifelong farmer activist whose family has tended the fields of Brome, Missisquoi for generations. As locals paused between stalls, the director announced that Goya would be the party's candidate for the Brome-Missisquoi riding in the upcoming provincial election. The crowd's murmurs settled when Goya, her voice steady, described the valley's vineyards and the modest school where her children learn French and English side by side. She spoke of a vision that blends stewardship of the land with affordable health services, a promise reflected in the tiny silver pin she placed on her lapel, a symbol of the region's historic silver mining heritage. A nearby baker handed out warm croissants, their aroma mingling with the scent of fresh herbs, grounding the moment in everyday community life. In that shared pause, the residents felt a quiet certainty that their voice would travel from the market's lively aisles to the halls of Quebec's legislature. The promise was simple, a representative who knows the soil she will serve.
Thanks, Montreal, for tuning into the wrap. Tonight's chase after a stolen police cruiser reminded us how quickly the city can shift gears. I'm Peter Miller, and I look forward to bringing you more of the stories that matter tomorrow. Stay safe and see you then. Thanks again, Montreal. Good night.